What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie reaction. Yeah, this is going to be a random one. So like I said before on the previous post, I wanted the Thursdays to kind of be something different, something new, something out of like the loop of your typical TV show, movie reaction, etc., etc. These are going to be kind of things that I personally wanted to bring to the table. So today, we are going to be watching End of Watch, and I brought a special guest who is not only my best friend, but is also very and highly educated in the field because he himself is in the field. Brandon Ivy.
How you doing? My name is Brandon. James' best friend here. I am an authentic cop. I do work in the career field, so we're gonna watch a movie with James and I guess do a little review, a little input, and yeah.
Literally, what I love about this YouTube channel is because I'm able to bring in a lot of educated people who are in different fields. It's not just, in film, it's not even just art, but if there's a possibility where I can potentially bring in a new form of education, a new form of entertainment for you guys, I'm more than happy to do that. So yeah, again, thank you for being here and making this. This movie is about, I would say, being a LAPD cop. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, the important part that I kind of want to educate myself, not only just as a filmmaker, but I want to be able to see if it's A, authentic, B, if it does the right things in order to really reflect what it is to be in cop's shoes. And I'm just looking to see if it's also entertaining as well too, and those are really difficult things to do. I know it has a really good review on Rotten Tomatoes and all that good stuff, but yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna stop talking and we can get right into End of Watch.
Anybody who works in law enforcement or is a cop has probably at some point seen this movie. This movie's great. It's probably one of the best cop movies there is.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Although I'm not a cop in LA, I'm not gonna say where I'm a cop at, but I'm a cop on the East Coast. But there's a lot of realistic stuff in this movie. You're seeing they're in a police chase, looks like, and you're seeing a dash cam. Basically what you're seeing right here, this is a camera that's basically mounted in the front of the police car. So the way that it looks with all the letters up at the top of the screen and everything, that's actually realistic. That's actually how it would actually look like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The way it looks here, that's how it would look in real life if you were watching a police chase through a police dash cam.
Oh, snap.
And yes, chases, when chases happen, they can be, this intense at times.
What I'm kind of even noticing from just a camera perspective is just how unpredictable the car chases are. And even with the filmmaking maneuvers, it's very chaotic, it's very unpredictable. Fuck you!
So they shot at the bad guys. The bad guys got out the cars with guns, and they shot the bad guys, and they were kind of advancing on the bad guys and exchanging fire in the open. You wouldn't necessarily see that happen in real life because you really want to try to shoot from cover when you can. But I mean, for the most part, that was spot on.
P13. This is the department issue sidearm, Glock 19, a Spyderco tactical knife.
That was actually wrong. That actually wasn't a Glock 19 that he showed.
Really?
Yeah, that was shit Glock 22 that he showed, and he called it a Glock 19.
Oh, word. See, this is why it's awesome to have somebody in the field about this. I love, even from a filmmaker perspective, how it's almost as if, it's continuing the dash cam effect. It's very guerrilla style. It's it looks like a fisheye lens, like a GoPro.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of interesting because I wonder if they did that filmmaking style because, the surveillance GoPro footage is usually on a cop or usually on a dash cam, like you said. So I wonder if the style of filming was inspired from that instead of the conventional way of shooting.
Because just look right here, I think they're talking about the body camera.
Yeah.
So yeah. And this is how it would look in real life. If you were looking at a body camera footage, that's how it would look.
Oh,
it's
nice.
they're actually pretty good quality.
It's never an easy ride. If you do the right thing, I will always have your back. Do the wrong thing and cross me, I will personally throw you under the bus.
So one of the things I would love to ask in terms of authenticity as well too is kind of the camaraderie of police officer, and just like, you know, being in that environment where your life is on the line every single day. So having that sort of trust is important. That sort of brotherhood is important. I wanted to see like the conversations, the dialogue. Is it, you know, already is it authentic in your mind?
Because the things that you see in the movie, I mean, some of the stuff is a little exaggerated, but like the communication that you're seeing amongst the officers in this scene is spot on. You know what I mean? This is basically what they're doing right now is called a roll call. So basically, this is what cops do at the beginning of our shift, basically so we can get information to help us throughout that shift. So we're getting information on past crimes, maybe crimes that the last shift dealt with, what we should be on the lookout for, who we should be on the lookout for, you know, basically getting your zone assignments, you know, where you're going to patrol in the city on that given shift. And then after roll call, just like you see they're walking out, after roll call, basically you're going to go to the armory, you're going to get your weapons, and then you're going to go to the motor pool and get your car, and then go out on patrol for that day.
Nice.
So, yeah, that was spot on. They captured the camaraderie amongst officers that are the same rank. I feel like a lot of times in a lot of cop movies where they miss the mark is when you have cops in cop movies, for lack of better words, acting like cops all the time.
All the time.
You know what I mean? Like, we're people, too. Like, we're coworkers.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're friends. Like, we don't act like cops. To each other, you know what I mean? Like, when we're not doing, you know, I guess you could say cop stuff, it's a very lighthearted, joking, I mean, jokes, playing pranks on each other, you know, it's just like any other job.
I'm calling you out. What's up? You whip my ass? I'll put them motherfucking handcuffs on my motherfucking self. And that's on the set.
Yo, this dialogue is actually kind of hilarious. It's actually kind of hilarious. They about to scrap.
You like that? Ain't no wrestling match.
You all right? You all right?
Round 2.
Come on.
Woo! Woo!
That's what happens when you fuck with the police.
This scene is funny, but this would never, ever, like, if you want to lose your job faster than you could walk out of this house, like, you would be, oh man, you'd be out of a job and you'd be in prison for doing something like this. But I mean, it is funny. Like, not saying it hasn't happened like in the past, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, but on a normal police department, like, no, absolutely not. You never ever do something like that.
I think, like, you know, from a filmmaking perspective, they probably did that scene so it can show more of who these people that we're following are, like their brotherhood, like their companionship. You know, especially at the end there when they kind of like bump heads. It's like, yo, like, you know, we're together in this. You know what I'm saying? Damn. So I'm assuming this is rival gangs. So what I'm noticing just kind of right there, another twisted sense of brotherhood. You know, like when the cop, you know, he he bumped heads with them, showing them love. The same sort of thing was here. And it just showcases, you know, the love and the brotherly love that people have and how easily twisted that can be, you know, and how dangerous that can be once it goes to the extreme.
What the hell's this?
What?
Candid camera?
No, sir. It's just a project I'm working on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna want to see that.
So what I would like to ask you as well, too, is like, because I always see this in movies where I guess you could say, like, the detective comes onto the scene. They're kind of like, they come off as, like, the big shots and the hot shots. I'm wondering, is that, like, Hollywood or is that true?
Make sure no assholes come up here and kill us.
That is Hollywood. Yes, that is absolutely Hollywood. Detectives in a police department, a lot of times in movies, they make it as if detectives are, I guess, superior to patrolmen. At least where I work, detectives and patrolmen work hand in hand. Only difference is as a patrolman, you do the initial investigation for a crime. A detective then takes over that investigation, all right, and will go into deeper detail into that investigation. You would see the same camaraderie that you would see between the patrolmen.
I've been looking, and I've been check the house. Sometimes children can hide. Be hide under a bed or in a closet, okay? My partner, you can talk to my partner.
So in this, you hear the guy basically saying that he doesn't want them to search the house because they don't have a warrant. So in this situation, police wouldn't need a warrant to basically check the house for the kids. You know, they obviously know something's fishy. You know, the guy doesn't want the girl to, you know, tell the cops anything about where the kids are. You know, in this situation, there would be exigent circumstances to search the house to make sure that the kids, in fact, weren't in that house.
Fucking go ahead!
I found the kids.
Go ahead, you fucking crackhead!
Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus, man. If you don't mind me asking, like, how would you even feel with this? Because that's such a difficult situation right there.
Oh, yeah. Any human, you know, normal person, cop, I don't care, you know, what profession you're in. You know what I mean? You're going to have an emotional response to that. You know what I mean? Because that is not normal. That's not normal living conditions for a kid. You know what I mean? Any rational person could see the reason why he reacted like that. But you said the first thing that will come to my mind, both of these people need to be locked up. We need to take them back to station. We need to get detectives out here. And, you know, we need to be investigating a child abuse, you know, case. And possibly, like, an attempted, like, I don't know, maybe, like, an attempted murder. Because why would she report the kids missing, but then they had the kids tied up in the closet, and then they didn't want to let the cops search the house? Like, it kind of seems like they were trying to paint a picture that the kids were missing so that it could cover them getting rid of the kids for whatever reason.
You look in the mirror, you're just a
Lock it
common
up,
fucking
Ariska.
gangster bitch like all the rest. Why don't you sit your ass down?
Why don't you do what the fuck they tell you, puppet?
Want me to make you?
Lock it up, partner.
Looked like they knew each other from, like, elementary school or something.
Oh, yeah. And to add on that, like, that happens, you know? The particular place where I'm a cop, I grew up where I work. You know, I work in the town, you know, where I grew up. And you see people that you grew up with. And, you know, sometimes you may have to go to calls and sometimes even investigate people that you knew from your childhood. You know what I mean? And it is awkward, you know what I mean? And as you can see from that situation, it was an awkward situation. She obviously knows this girl, you know? But her partner did a really good job of de-escalating that situation and kind of stepping in and, you know, getting in the middle of it so that it didn't escalate into, you know, like a conflict.
You know, it's so interesting because, like, they go through these experiences, and I'm sure you could probably relate too, and then they go back into their life. You know, as if, like, they didn't witness kids that were just duct taped in a closet and, you know, reportings of gang violence. I think this is doing a really good job at just showing that people, like, these people are human. And I think Hollywood does a really bad job at showcasing that because, like you said earlier, cops are always cops in Hollywood. Instead of humans.
Come on, go, man! I'm going, man! Fuck! Come on, put your head right here!
You can literally almost, like, feel the chaos of it. I mean, like, I love that it's shot this way because you don't know where you're going, so the camera kind of reflects that, where it's just so all over the place.
I've never actually ran into a burning building, but I work with cops who have done it, and from what I hear, it's insane. It's seriously nothing. I've heard stories, and it's nothing short of insane. It's chaotic, like.
If anything, it's probably the smoke that is most dangerous.
Yeah, more so than the fire.
The Medal of Valor is presented to Officer Brian Taylor.
Now, is that something you would actually receive for doing an act like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They went above and beyond. You know, running into a burning building with no equipment on, saving 3 kids. Absolutely. I mean, I would say probably in most cities you would probably get an award for that.
Remember that cowboy with the blinged out AK?
Yeah, it's probably my cousin.
All right, I crisscrossed the numbers on the cell. A couple addresses come up in our basic area.
I feel like this is dangerous waters he's probably stepping into.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he should leave it to the detectives, like his partner. So, I think he definitely should. Just because you don't want to bite off more than you can chew.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's your life you're talking about here.
You want to be courageous, but at the same time, you got to be safe. You know what I mean? And you to a certain extent, you do have to be concerned for your well-being. Obviously, they're dealing with some very dangerous criminals, and they're going to need the necessary resources to handle them. You know, it seems like they're dealing with some type of like drug cartel, and that could be a dangerous situation, especially if you don't know what you're walking into.
Wonder what's going on. Oh my God. What?
So basically, what it looks like human trafficking.
Yeah, human trafficking, 100%. Yeah.
Whoa. Who's in charge here?
Whoa.
Are you in charge? What the fuck? I need to know.
What's going on here? Is it like a different operation? Like, what's happening?
So basically, what it seems like some type of federal agency has showed up on the scene. It looked like DEA or Homeland. And basically, now that scene right there, or ICE, it looks like they're ICE agents. That scene right there, that is realistic. Like, they would probably have that reaction in real life because, like I said before, as a patrolman, you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. These two cops, they've completely bitten off more than they can chew, and they probably disrupted the investigation that that ICE had going on. So by them going to that house, they could have possibly ruined this investigation. They could have been sitting on that house, investigating that house to lead to something bigger. Federal agencies, they want to get the bigger fish. You know what I mean? It's great if you get the small fish, but they want to get the big fish. You know what I mean? And by big fish, I mean you want to get the big criminal. You know what I mean? What good are you doing picking off the little guys, right? The little guys, well, you can go right to the top and you can pick off the big guy. And sometimes it takes time. You know what I mean?
Is there a number on a house, a building number?
The house is 3177. Sir, back up.
Holy shit.
Oh,
That's
snap.
one of the scariest calls you can get as a police officer.
Jeez.
An officer, you know, requesting help, and it sounds like they're in a fight. I mean, your heart is racing at that point.
Set up a
Whoa.
Call for a rescue.
Yo, he has a knife in his eye.
Towards me till I tell you to stop. Move. Stop. Get on your fucking knees.
That scene right there was, that was really realistic. I mean, everything that they did, I mean, I think, I didn't see anything that looked Hollywood. That's how police officers would handle that situation. Absolutely.
You're gonna be okay. You okay, all right?
Jesus, man, that's horrifying.
What?
She ain't coming back. She gave me this to give to the watch commander.
Oh, well. She wouldn't have made probation anyway.
Hell no.
Well, because her daddy's not a captain.
You know she wasn't cut out.
I wouldn't expect like them to kind of like be talking like that about her, you know? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, you gotta understand. I mean, in law enforcement, it's life or death. You know what I mean? And you have to be able to depend on your partners. Now, obviously, you don't ever want to see anybody fail. However, if that person is not cut out to be a police officer, they do not need to be there. You know what I mean? And for their safety, for your safety, for the public safety, you know what I mean? Because if they're not cut out to be a cop, if they're not confident, if you can't depend on them to save your life, how are you going to depend on them to save an innocent person's life? You know what I mean?
I swear if you ever do this, I'm going to see to it that it's going on the big screen.
Oh, shit.
It's crazy how quickly he spotted that. He must have been used to the smell then.
Yeah. I mean, in my experience, the smell hits you in the face.
Jeez.
Like, you know right away, you know, when you have somebody who's died inside the house. I mean, yeah, it's strong. You know it when you smell it. If you've ever smelled it before, you know it instantly.
Hollow. Somebody's opened it before, dude. That's what that means. Party time.
Yeah, so I was just actually going to say, once they found that dead body, you want to clear the rest of that house, like, right away. Because her being wrapped in that plastic bag is suspicious. Like, that's not normal. So I would say, instead of looking for the drugs, you need to clear the rest of that house right away. Make sure that nobody else is in that house. And you need to call for backup, you know.
It seems like they're plotting against those two cops, man. I'm surprised they did not get hit by that.
How did they not get hit by that?
Yeah. Now it's like a question of how are they going to get out. They're in the lower ground, too. That is not a good vantage point.
I think, honestly, in this situation, just putting myself in their shoes, I don't think I would be moving as much as they are. I think I'd be staying off the streets because obviously this gang is going to be on the streets looking for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know the neighborhood. I don't think I would be moving. I think I would probably hunker down in a particular place, try to get in contact with, dispatch again, so I can tell, other officers where I'm at. And I think I would I think I would probably just hunker down. I don't think I would be running down the alleyway and open like this.
Yeah.
But again, I think this is just added for effect, dramatic effect.
Oh no, he got hit, man. Oh, this complicates a lot of stuff, man.
It's okay to do it right now.
I fucking love you, bro.
Damn, I mean, there's still gang members around too. I'm not sure how they're gonna make it out of this.
Now, I think in this situation, the one thing that's a little unrealistic, I think you would definitely be hearing sirens by now.
Jesus.
Rest in peace, bitch.
God damn, man. You gotta be kidding me. Someone just run through them right now, man.
Celebration time. Look at the streets of LA.
All right, there you go. Jeez. Damn, man. That's rough, man.
This movie did a great job of capturing. I feel like this movie did an amazing job capturing the aspect, just like overall capturing the essence of law enforcement. I mean, right here you're seeing a police funeral.
Yeah.
And just seeing this scene, I mean, I've been to a few police funerals, and this is spot on. I mean, this is what that's what it looks like. I mean, it's a very, very somber and sad, event. And I think this movie captures it great. This movie is very quality. I mean, very quality. And I actually remember watching a video about this movie, and apparently the budget for this movie was not that high at all.
Yeah.
Apparently the budget for this movie was like $8 million.
It's all painted, and they're yapping, they're doing their thing, and they crash. And this is the part that I never told Gabby. I hear a little smoochy smooch, and I hear some shit, and I'm like praying, please.
Oh no. No.
They got down, dude. Oh.
This is wholesome, man. This is wholesome. It's just shame what happens, man. Damn. And that is End of Watch, guys. All right, guys. So we just got done watching End of Watch, and man, I mean, to kind of like give my first reactions towards it, I absolutely love this film. I mean, we're going to get into a little bit more about like the reasons why we love this film, but one of the major reasons why I personally love this film is because of just how authentic it was. Like the dialogue everywhere from, their companionship, the way it was shot, the way that it portrayed LA, the way that it really showcased what it meant to, really be a cop, or at least attempted to, in my opinion, was really well done. And from a filmmaking perspective, this is just another reason to why you don't need crazy amount of video equipment. You don't need to have the best gear to tell us a very wonderful story of, in this case, being a police officer and being an LAPD police officer. And what I want this to kind of like hopefully be a lesson towards other filmmakers out there is to always, no matter what, go for storytelling. Storytelling is the reason why filmmaking is powerful. You can transcend perspectives and you can help others understand through your body of work. You don't need the most expensive camera for that. You don't need 20 people. You don't need 100 people working underneath you. All you have to have is just the passion, the motivation, and also just the overall love in the craft of filmmaking and your love for getting whatever you want to showcase on screen as best as you possibly can. So if anything, I think this is a perfect example of why filmmaking and storytelling and you not needing to have the crazy amount of equipment is possible because of this film. But as a since I have a actual police officer with me, I would love to like kind of conclude and get your opinions on the actual movie itself too.
Seeing it now, I actually haven't watched End of Watch in a long time. Actually, probably the last time I watched End of Watch was probably before I was a police officer.
Yeah.
So watching it now, I mean, I think now even more than ever, I really can appreciate the artistic, detail that went into that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, End of Watch is probably the most realistic, engaging, immersive police movie that is out there.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, everything in that movie is spot on. I mean, there are some Hollywood parts, but everything is spot on. And whoever was the person who was in charge of the research for that movie, to really nail down the realism.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a great job.
Yeah.
They did a great job. And also the actors they used. I mean, I think Michael Pena and Jake Gyllenhaal, perfect for those roles. Seriously, perfect for those roles. I'm surprised that End of Watch isn't a bigger movie than it is.
Yeah.
Like, End of Watch is kind of like it's a big movie, but at the same time, like, you don't really hear about it.
Super underrated.
Yeah, you don't really hear about it as much as you should, So, yeah, I enjoy that movie. I love End of Watch.
Yeah.
That movie is great. Watching it again now and seeing it, that movie's fantastic. And anybody who, if you want a glimpse of law enforcement, that's a great movie to watch. I mean, it's, it's got its artistic, spin on things, but I mean, it's great. It's it nailed it. It nailed it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I think like
And being a police officer, I'm proud to say that is a law enforcement movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like the creators of that movie, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think that the creators of that movie, did us an injustice. You know what I mean? I think that they really took their time and really put their research in to make it authentic, and I really do appreciate that.
I think a lot of people, and before we get into kind of more of the broader strokes and themes that this movie represents, I think the thing that I truly learned as well too is that there is a balance. There is a balance between you being a director or a filmmaker and you also respecting the reality of whatever it is that you're trying to tell a story about. Because too many times I feel as though some people either have to be the extremes of both ends, and they are either too into the details where they don't pass on the overall theme, which is perspective.
Right.
And so it's so alienating. It alienates the audience to the point where they can't really relate too much to what it is that is on the other side. Whereas the other extreme is where someone can just be like, oh, but like it's art. And I don't need to know this and that and this and that. And then next thing you know, you have people looking at the film and saying like, well, that would never happen. Right. This is like, it's just inaccurate and it's insulting. Right. It's offending in a way. And I just want people to know that there is a balance. So thank you for, shedding that light as well too. Yeah, most definitely.
An opportunity to, watch that movie again and really analyze it.
Yeah.
And, putting, real world, some real world eyes onto it. Like,
yeah.
I think I have a greater appreciation for that movie now after watching it, and doing this video.
Yeah. I mean, well, hey man, I mean, before we wrap things up too, I want to kind of touch on, the importance of sharing a perspective as well too. I think, because we have the platform, of YouTube, of social media, it's important to, I mean, obviously we don't need to TED Talk or anything like that, but to touch on the fact that, like, both of us are black men. I am a black man in Hollywood, and you're a black man, and and as a police officer in law enforcement. So I think the beautiful thing about just perspective in general, and me being a storyteller, me trying to understand and search for possible answers, and I don't need to have the answers, but I need to have a greater knowledge on things so I can prepare better answers for more. I would say that, this film in my opinion, did a phenomenal job really helping me understand what it really is like, or close to what it really is like to being a cop, just in any region. It doesn't have to be in LA. You know, I think the perspective of like, I could die today, or I could never see my family again. I could never, see my friends again. You know, having your dreams gone like that is a perspective that is not only brilliantly shown in this movie, but is also weirdly shown on the other end. Like, you know, even with like gang violence, you know, and at the end of the day, it's like perspective in these sort of films. Understanding is key. Conversation is key. Having these sort of moments where we can get together and talk more about these and open up conversations, I think is what's most important. I think it's what the world truly needs right now. And that's one of the reasons why I'm grateful to have people like you in law enforcement as well too, because you are just a phenomenal individual, and you are, you really do breathe life, not only just in law enforcement, but what it really means to be a good person in general, like what it means to be a good human being. And for me, I really want people out there who are in filmmaking or who want to tell a story with art to really cherish these moments and, do your justice as a good person. And, even besides filmmaking, if you are a good person, make sure that you're going about your day and understanding and learning and to, hopefully conversate with other people, and don't segregate yourself because of different ideologies. Let's open these conversations up to learn more so we can understand more and so we can love more. And it sounds cheesy, but it's the most difficult thing that you can do, especially during these times. So these videos are very important, and I want people to understand that you are also important. Your art is important. Your time being in law enforcement is important. Your life on earth is important. So let's make the best of that, and let's learn from each other. So that being said,
Is key. Seriously, understanding is key.
Exactly. So guys, thank you again for tuning in. If you guys want to, see the uncut version of this where we have a lot more to say about certain things, definitely check out the Patreon. The link is going to be in the description. I'm going to make sure to if you want anything that you want to showcase, like an Instagram or anything like that, I know he's going to have a YouTube coming up, so stay tuned for that. But always, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Be safe. Stay hydrated, because we are just getting started.
Purple jacket, pocket full of weed. Everything that I should ever need. Grab some matches cause they give them free. Just like my time. Hair pulled back in the backseat.